Today I'm going to do a review on this 5-pen set by IDO3D Vertical. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you everything that is in the pack itself, and then I will kind of do like a little demonstration for you and then kind of give you my thoughts on the product itself. So first thing that we have is just the box that it came in, and just kind of shows you a little bit of everything, the different things that you can do, and gives you a better idea of what the product is actually about. So go ahead and set that aside. And then it also comes with this really nice book, and inside the book there is pretty much just a bunch of templates and instructions on how to do different projects. Some of the projects are really simple. A lot of them actually take a lot of time, and there's a lot of detail that goes into it as well. They also have a website that is on, I think it's on this paper here, and yeah, there it is. And you can actually go in there and get different templates. There's not a whole lot, but there are more options. So you can do that as well. It also comes with 3 kind of clear plastic things here. You have it's kind of like a small rectangle, and then you have a circle, and as you can see, it does curve out. And then you have a small, it kind of looks like an egg shape. It's not really an oval because it gets smaller at the top here. But these are the 3 things that you use the ink on. This allows the ink to kind of, I guess the ink doesn't really stick to that type of material. So when you have a template in the book, what you do, find one here, like here's a template, and you're just gonna put this plastic piece right over the picture, and then you can just trace it with the pen, and then you're gonna dry it and everything like that, and then you're actually gonna peel it off of this plastic sheet. So it's definitely a project that if you're going to do it, you need to set aside some time. It's not something that can be done really quickly. There's a lot of stuff that goes with it as far as setting it up and clean up and everything like that. So just as a heads up, it's not a simple process. It's not a simple I guess arts and crafts project, if you want to call it. It's not something simple that you're going to be able to do in 10-15 minutes. You're going to have to set aside some time to make sure that you have time to get things ready. It's going to take the stuff time to dry, and then once you're done, you're going to have to set aside time to clean up. So just kind of as a heads up, because me personally, I like to know if a product like this, if it's something simple, if it's time consuming, or different things like that. So, but we'll go ahead, and here are the 5 pen colors that you get. As you can see, there's purple, blue, orange, red, and green. Each one of them come with a color-coded tip that you can put on the end of it in order for the ink to come out, and it comes out like at a fine point so that you can trace the templates and kind of create things and give you a more precise way of doing it. Here is one of the tips actually still on the pen, and you just twist this black part and it just kind of opens it up, and then the ink will actually come out. The ink was already inside of the pens when it came, so everything's really ready to use. You just have to take the original cap off and then put these pen tips on. And then the last thing we have here is the light, and this is what dries the ink and allows you to make the different objects. I'm just going to turn it on here real quick. There's 3 little bulbs, and I kind of do it a little bit. I don't want to blind you, but it's not overly bright. I mean, it kind of looks like it in the camera, but in all honesty, it's not horrible. It's pretty much just like 3 little LED blue bulbs. So it's nothing, horrible, as you can see. But the purpose for this is to dry the ink, and you just stick it on the pen like this. I personally have trouble with it sticking. It just kind of tends to fall off. I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like there's really one way to do it. But I tend to have trouble with it kind of sliding off. So a lot of times what I'll do is, if I'm doing something horizontally, I will actually just take the light off and draw what I'm drawing, and then kind of hold the light over it in order to dry it. If I'm doing something vertically, then I typically use 2 hands, and I'll actually hold the light on it and then hold the pen with my other hand and draw. But I'll show you that here in just a couple minutes. I'm actually going to get some stuff set up in order to kind of do like a little demonstration to give you a better idea of how it works and actually what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll see how it works and everything like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm pretty much just going to take this green ink and just kind of draw some random things in order to show you what it does. This is, I don't know how well you can see this or not. See if I can get it to clear up. But this is how the ink comes out, as you can see a little bit there. But I mean, you really have to kind of be careful. Sometimes it does come out quickly. But I'm just going to kind of make a line here, and then I'll dry it. You can actually kind of smear this around if you want to make it like a thicker line or whatever it is you want to do. I'm just kind of messing around with it to kind of show you what it's like. And then we're going to take the light and kind of just hold the light over it, and it'll dry it. You can do this if you're doing something vertically, but if you're doing something horizontally, you're going to want the light on the ink as soon as it comes out of the pen in order to dry it. Otherwise, it won't stay up vertically. I usually just kind of touch it a little bit to see if it's still tacky. And then you just kind of bend this a little bit, and as you can see, the bottom of it wasn't quite dry. But for the most part it was. But as you can see, there's still some on there. But I mean, it does take a little bit of time. I honestly don't have the hang of it yet as far as judging how long stuff needs to dry. But I guess it's a learning experience. One thing that I will tell you, I know that the description does say that it can easily be wiped off, and you can use like baby wipes or soap and water and stuff like that. I will be completely honest with you, the ink that comes out of here is extremely sticky. I'll actually see if I can show you here, but there's some ink there, and I mean, it's like really tacky. Granted, some of that is a little bit dried, but it is really sticky. If you don't wipe this off like immediately, it does, in my opinion, it seems to get stickier as time goes, and it's kind of better to just do soap and water, because if you use a baby wipe, it just kind of smears, and then you end up getting it everywhere. So cleanup with it is, I think, more time consuming than anything else, and it actually kind of, to me, it was more annoying than anything else because it just seemed like the ink got everywhere and it was really sticky, and a lot of stuff just ended up being really tacky, and the more you wiped it, it just seemed like the more it would smear. So I would definitely say if you're going to use this, be extremely neat about it and make sure that you're ready to wipe stuff off if the ink gets on there. But we're going to go ahead and try to do a horizontal thing here. I'm not too good at this just because of the timing. As you can see, this down here is ink that has already dried as it came out. So you have to be really quick about how you do it. So we're going to try again. Actually, I'm going to turn it off for a minute and start it. There's probably an easier way, and I just don't have that trick down yet. But as you can see, it just kind of, it tends to dry it quicker than what it can come out. So and there's a little bit that did a little bit better for the most part. But it's really tricky, and in all honesty, like, you have to get the hang of it. It's not really something that you can just kind of pick up on. But it's definitely interesting. I think one thing for me, the huge downfall is how messy it is when you're cleaning it up. It's just, like I said, it's really sticky and it just tends to get everywhere. But I mean, other people might think that it's not, but in my opinion, it's really sticky. I'm going to pull another color out here and see if I can get it to do the vertical a little bit better. Maybe. Alright, let's try the orange here. I can't get the cap to stay on. Overall, I mean, the product's not bad. I think that it's overpriced. I mean, I understand what you're getting and the creativity of it and everything like that, but in my opinion, it's just overpriced. And I really feel that somehow, like, there could be some adjustments made in order to make it not as messy and different ideas like that, and maybe get the light to stay on a little bit better, because I cannot get the light to stay on the pen whatsoever. But that's just my opinion. And like right now, I can't even get these caps to stay on because I'm trying to get the tips here to connect and they just keep coming off. But I mean, it's a really unique product. It's really interesting and different things like that. But I just feel like there could be some adjustments made in order to make it a little bit better. I can't even really get the tip to stay on. I'm going to try to see if I can get this to pour out here. But I mean, like I said, I have some mixed feelings about it. I think it's really cool. That's not going to work, in all honesty, but it just seems almost to me like a waste. Because, like, here's some of the stuff here that dried. It's really flimsy. I mean, it's not the sturdiest stuff ever. I think I tried to make a couple things before, just playing around with it, and the stuff just kind of snapped. And see, it wasn't the sturdiest stuff, so something that you have to be really gentle with, or you're just gonna end up breaking everything that you make. but I'm going to try to kind of make a couple more things, and if I end up being successful at it, then I will stick a couple pictures at the end of the video. If not, then I didn't have any luck. But overall, like I said, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I think it's a really great idea. I just think it is extremely messy and is kind of more hassle than what it's worth. But if you are interested in checking out this product, maybe just kind of looking into it and seeing what it's about, then I will put the link in the description below. And thanks for watching.